What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for RuPaul's Drag Race Season 11, Episode 5. Now, let me be honest with you guys. This review is probably not going to be that long or that detailed for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't find it that interesting. I don't know about anybody else. This episode didn't really do a lot for me. Two, the challenge this episode was basically a bunch of looks. And what I'm not going to do, because it's still, 13 of them? 12 or 13 of them? I'm not getting ready to sit here and go through 36 looks. I'm not doing that. That I'm not doing. And I'm sorry. There are probably some other reviewers that will give you each look. I'm not doing it. But I do have some things to say about this episode, okay? A couple of things did go down this episode that I feel like we do need to maybe talk about and address a little bit. So, first of all, we start this episode off with, obviously, I know we start off with the eliminated queen, which was Mercedes. And then we have the, obligatory conversation on the couch about what just went down. And Raja made a comment that it's really a defense comment. It's that I know I just got finished lip syncing for my damn life. And I know that I'm here by the skin of my chinny chin chin, but I'm not about to let you hoes know how I really feel. And she made a comment about, I just had to lip sync for my life, and if that's what I have to do for the next if that's what I have to do for the next however many weeks to get to the crown, and that's what I'll have to do. Now, Evie, Evie. I like you, Evie. I don't like... Evie's one of those people that feels like she has to say something even when no one asked her a question. So when Raja said that, Evie's comment was, well, yeah, but when you going to start applying that to your challenges? Who the fuck asked you? And Raja said, now is not the time to try me. Now, the last time Evie and Raja got into it, I kind of was on Evie's side a little bit from the point of view of Evie was calling the people out who had a whole lot to say about Miss Silky, but then wasn't bold enough to say it to Miss Silky's face. So I kind of had Evie's back on that one. And even last week in Untucked, or was it the week before in the Untucked, when Evie kind of got into it with, who was it? She got Scarlett, I guess. Even then, I kind of wasn't, I was like, okay, I kind of feel... But tonight, Evie, I'm going to need you to mind more of your business. Because sometimes your comments are just unwarranted. Like, nobody fucking asked you. I mean, that's just the nicest way I could say some of that. Ain't nobody asked you nobody asked you. Sorry about that. So, I lost my train of thought. I had to pause the video and lost my train of thought. But anyway, let's just get back to it. So, the other thing we talked about, so that was Raja and Evie. I was still talking about Miss Evie. So yeah, Evie, I like you, Evie, but you kind of working me a little bit. I'm gonna see how these next couple of weeks go. You kind of working me a little bit, Evie. So, the other thing we talked about the Vanjie Brooklyn situation. Now, if you follow these people on social media, they still hanging out. They look like maybe there really was a love match made there. We'll see how it plays itself out. I'm sure it'll be talked about at the reunion, and we'll see where everybody is up to date. So, the Maxi Challenge. The Mini Challenge. The Mini Challenge, RuPaul, who is the master of self-promotion, and knows how to use this show to promote all things RuPaul, and I'm not mad about it at all. You need to write a book on that shit. But she has a new doll coming out. There has been a RuPaul doll in the past, but it looks like she's working with a new company, and maybe this was sort of a remastered type situation. And so the mini challenge was basically you got to find a best friend for the RuPaul doll. And so the ladies had to get into quick drag and sort of come up with a best friend for RuPaul, kind of like Skipper to Barbie kind of thing. And again, I'm not going to sit here and go through everybody's persona. Some were what you would expect. Some were sort of stereotypical. Some really tried to push the envelope a little bit. For example, Silky made hers like down home homegirl with like the bootleg chips in her jacket and stuff. And to me, that was sort of easy. Like that wasn't, you didn't push yourself out of the box. Evie did sort of like a somebody who was nuclear radiation type of thing, and she got to be quirky and odd, which again, not a stretch. I thought that Nina West was cute and original. She sort of did like a Bible thumping. She had the bow leg thing working. Um, Brooklyn, was it Brooklyn? I think it was Brooklyn. Did the and hers was cute. She did the drunk bride to be. You know how you if you've ever gone places where there's a bridal party and the bride to be with her sash on, and I'm the bride and she just drunk off her ass. Yeah, that person. Um, but most of them I don't really think push the envelope too much. Um, but the person who won, I was the least impressed with because I thought it was a very easy grab, which was Raja. And Raja needed that win coming off of lip sync, and so I ain't mad. But she played like the homegirl. You know what I mean? She played Starkeisha. Whatever. You know what I mean? With the crop top, the bra showing, the sunglasses. But she won, so whatever. Like I said, I wasn't real impressed with it. I like the Kyria the best because I feel like Kyria, like, I'm not gonna say the best, but I like the Kyria. She was one of my favorites. I ain't gonna say the best. I don't know if I liked any of them a lot, but she was one of my favorites. So now the other thing with that was that Trixie was the guest that helped do the mini challenge. I've never been a fan of Trixie's. I was so pissed off when Trixie won. And when I say not a fan of hers, I mean I don't like the way she does her makeup. It bothers me how she does her makeup. I don't enjoy it. She's probably a fierce drag queen as far as performance and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't follow her like that. But I was so pissed off when she won All Stars because I ain't like how that whole thing went down with the whole voting. Shangela was robbed, but whatever. So, honestly, no, I ain't gonna go there. That's another video for another day. So, the mini challenge is they're having a monster ball, right? So they have to turn 3 looks for the monster ball. Now, where are my notes? Because I'm going to tell you what the categories are. I'm just not going to go through every single damn look. Now, that I'm not going to do. But the categories were, if I can find my page that I got the notes on, it was Trampy, Trick or Treater, Witch Please, and then MILF. And it was supposed to be like Monster MILF or something like that. So, and they gave them materials and stuff for them to make their costumes or make their stuff. And it was funny because I'm gonna mention this. One of the biggest things was the queens were like, well, can Plastique be dirty and down and dirty? Can she be scary? Because the whole thing was to be like Halloweeny, kind of thing. And Plastique was like, little do they know, like that's how I started. Like I started doing monster drag and that kind of thing. Like I'm pretty now, but I do know how to get ugly, So I thought that was very interesting. Y'all got to be careful who y'all underestimate. And one of the biggest people talking about whether she could turn a monster look was Miss Silky Ganache, and we'll talk about why that's important a little bit later. Guest judge is again, I had to write her name down because I don't know who she is. Kava I didn't write her name down right, but she was in what's that movie with damn y'all, I'm off today. The movie with Will Smith played in the original with the Joker and the girl with the bat. Y'all know who I'm talking about. She played in that. And my girl Elvira. And let me tell y'all something about Elvira. I don't know what coffin that bitch is sleeping in, but when I tell y'all she looked the exact same on this episode as she did 20 years ago, probably 30, when I used to watch her when I was a kid, I promise y'all she looked the same. I don't know what she drinking. Maybe she really is drinking blood, honey. I don't know what she doing, but she looks good. The workroom. So they've come up with a nickname for Vanjie and Brooklyn. They're calling them Brangie. And Vanjie said, don't get it twisted. Vanjie said, now look, This is a very this situation is very new. It's in its infancy. I'ma just I'm gonna go with the flow and see where it goes. Like I'm gonna keep if he want to keep coming up and kissing me, I'm gonna keep taking those kisses. But don't get it twisted. I ain't gonna let no man mess up my chances. Like I'm focused. I'm focused on why I'm here. Let's not get that twisted. I said, I know that's right, Miss Vanjie, because that's what I was worried about last week. I said, now Vanjie, don't get sidetracked with love. Now love will be there. Brooklyn will be there on the other side of the finish line. Don't. And Brooklyn, same thing, because Brooklyn is actually turning out to be a front runner. So same thing, Brooklyn. Don't get sidetracked now. Crown, love, crown, love. But anyway, so Rue works the workroom, and she's talking to everybody about what they're going to do and what their inspirations are and all that good stuff. Nothing. I didn't feel like anything big happened in the workroom other than Silky. I guess a little bit of foreshadowing. Silky talking about she don't care if she got lip sync. She ain't worried about being in the bottom because she will lip sync. And, a couple of the girls are like, Silky act like she can't get Shantae, you don't stay, sashay away because of her personality and because of the fact that the judges like her. Don't get it twisted, boo. They liked Latrice. They liked Valentine. They liked a whole lot of people that got their asses up off that stage, okay? So don't get so caught up in your own jush that you don't realize that your ass can be out the door. So, I don't really think a whole lot other. I'm trying to think. No. They tried to tell Ariel that her look wasn't scary enough, but everybody think they know what they know and they know better than the other person. So she did her own thing. Everybody was sort of reading everybody else's costume, and it's one of those situations where you never know until the person walks down that runway because everybody was reading everybody else. So we get to the runway because, like I said, I can't think of anything that really went down. The other thing that they talked about was that there are some cliques forming, and Silky calls her clique the Dream Girls. It's her, Ariel, Versace, and Vanjie. And, she said, hey, the three of us, we're going to make it to the end. The other thing is that the girls seem to think that Scarlett is very much in her own little world. That Scarlett she's kind of got that Valentina thing working right now. Because she said that, she was, that she, was validated when Rue said that she did a good job casting. And everybody was like, well, don't get it twisted. Like, you didn't direct the show. You just put the people in the roles. Like, you didn't do nothing deep, So anyway, the first category was trampy trick-or-treater. And Vanjie was like a casino blackjack dealer, and it was cute. She had like the whole blackjack table in front of her. Vanjie was a Victoria's Secret's angel. Was that Plastique? I think was a bunny. Not too far of a stretch. Who was that came out as a pirate? Was that Scarlett? I think that might have been Scarlett that came out as like a trampy pirate. I thought that was a cute little twist, a little trampy pirate. I liked Nina West's costume. She did a play on Little Shop of Horrors, so she came out like a the plant. Sugar came out as a trampy troll doll, but nobody knew what the fuck she was. So that's going to be a problem because nobody knew you was a trampy troll doll. Raja was a cat, again, not real original. I didn't think it was real original. Puss in Boots, I think she called herself. Brooklyn stole the fucking runway. Brooklyn came out as a mummy, like a half-dressed mummy. She had like a sheer bodysuit, but then the mummy it was like she was being unraveled. But she came out on her point. She's a trained ballerina. The bitch came out on her points, walking on her toes in her point shoes. Bitch. If nothing else, I'm giving you a A++++ for walking that runway on your toes. Now, granted, as a trained ballerina, that really wasn't a big deal for you, but for people to watch you do it, every time I go see Alvin Ailey almost every year when they come through, and just to see the body movement. For them, it's what they do. But to see somebody else do it, it's like, oh my gosh. Ariel Versace came out as, like, I guess a bride type of thing, and she had needles like in her shoulder pads. That was decent. That was cute. Evie Oddly also stole the show. I said I wasn't gonna go through every look, didn't I? But I guess I kind of lied. But Evie Oddly came out as like a tyrannosaur. Y'all know a dinosaur. I think it's Tyrannosaurus Rex, and she actually had claws on her pumps. So she came out in heels, but she had claws on the back of them. I mean, on the front of them. And it was cute. Silky Ganache was a unicorn, which didn't really do nothing for me, to be perfectly honest with you. She was reading people for bodysuits, but she seemed to have her fair share of bodysuit, of stock in the bodysuit trade. All right, the next category was trick or witch or treat, witch please, witch please. And let me tell y'all something. Again, I feel like we saw 5 versions of the same damn witch. Okay, the only people that I feel like did something different, we had because the first 5 looks were all black, were all like the what's Maleficent. That's what they all look like to me. Scarlet came out as like I guess a scary scarecrow. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Nina West was cute because she did a play on the Salem witch trial. She had a dress on with flames coming up off the dress, and she was dressed up like someone would have been dressed in those in the 1800s, 1700s. I'm gonna get my year right, 17. I believe it was anyway, Salem witch trials. And so she did a good play on that. Raja O'Hara, I guess, did a play off of like the Wizard of Oz. She was like in all green, so I guess she did a play on the queen, the one that liked to wear green. Again, Brooklyn comes out and steals the fucking show because she comes dressed up as the character that the judge played in the movie is still escaping me, but y'all know what movie I'm talking about. Dang on it. Anyway, y'all know what I was talking about. And if nothing else, you're flattering the judge, right? Cool. The other queen that I thought did something different was Silky. Now, I thought Silky did a good job of paying homage to The Wiz. And Mabel King's character in The Wiz. Of course, it wasn't an exact replica, but I thought she did a really good job. Now, the judges sort of clocked her because they said, you didn't do anything different with your makeup. You didn't make your makeup witchy-like. You did a pretty beat, and you look just like Oprah. You look just like you did last week when you were playing Oprah. And I think had she dirtied up her face a little bit and made it a little more mean, a little more witchy, I think she might not have gotten beat up so much because they liked the look. They just didn't like her face. Yeah. Other than that, that was pretty much the MILF again. The MILF runway and didn't really do a whole lot for me. That's when Plastique did her makeup and she dirtied her face up. She did a whole like Skeletor thing going. And they were like, okay, we see you know how to dirty up your face a little bit and still remain elegant. So Scarlet, I don't know what the fuck Scarlet did. I don't know what that was. She was trying to be the creature from the Black Lagoon. I don't know. Nina West kind of did a face-off type of thing where she had a mask, but she had her face look like she didn't have lips and stuff. I thought that was an interesting concept. Nobody else really did nothing for me on that runway. Okay, so that was the 3 looks. I gave y'all the best that I got. All right. Now, of course, we get to the judging. I ain't going to go through who's safe. We still got too many women to talk about who's safe. But top and bottom were basically, the top was Brooklyn Plastique and Evie Oddly. They loved Evie Oddly. They didn't like her 3rd look, but they liked her first 2. I forgot what her 2nd look was. She was a witch. She did something. I don't know. But they weren't crazy about her 3rd look as much. But they did like, they loved her first look with the way she did with the dinosaur and how she put claws on her pumps and everything. They loved that. The bottom was Ariel Versace, Silky Ganache, and Sugar. They didn't like any of Sugar's looks. None of her looks. Um, and like I told you guys, I kind of already told you what they clocked Silky for. They just felt like that she, they liked that second look they really liked, but they just didn't think she dirtied it up enough. They didn't think she gave enough, enough monster. And she was the one talking about she know whether one of the ones talking about whether Plastique could do it, and you didn't do it. They did like Evie, even though they weren't crazy about her third look, but they loved that first look so much that they actually, they actually had her in the top. They hated all of Ariel Versace's looks, and one of the things they said about her was basically that they just don't think that she's a one-trick pony. They don't think that she can give them anything different than what she's given them. And Sugar, they just didn't understand any of her looks. Like, she had to explain all of her looks. And Michelle made a good point. Michelle said, if you have to explain them, then they didn't work. If you have to sit here and give us a long dissertation explaining these looks, it didn't work. Point. So, it came down to the lip sync was, Ariel Versace and Sugar Cane, and they lip synced to "I'm Your Baby Tonight" by Whitney Houston. I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't impressed with either lip sync. Neither lip sync kept my attention. I was watching, neither one of them made me want to keep watching. Nobody was my baby tonight. Oh, Brooklyn won, so I think that's the second or third win for Brooklyn. We only in week 5. I know she's had at least 2, and maybe a almost third one. I think last week came down to her and Silky ended up winning, but they had her in the top last week. So Brooklyn is becoming a front runner, so y'all better watch yourselves. Miss Brooklyn's on y'all tail. Well, she ain't on y'all tail, she on the front. Y'all on her tail. But I wasn't impressed with, like I said, I wasn't impressed with either lip sync. I'll be honest with you, I think it could have went either way. Until Miss Ariel Versace failed. She tripped over her own dress. And during Untucked, they showed a scene with her practicing Untucked. When she was in Untucked, and she thought she knew she was going to be lip syncing. And they showed her practicing. And they showed her stepping on her gown while she was even practicing. So, I don't know if you needed to cut a little piece off before you went out there or what you needed to do. But neither here nor there. Once she fell, and now she recovered and she kept going, honey. She didn't let it take her out. She didn't cry about it. She didn't lay there. She kept it moving. I got to give her credit for that. But I said that with it being that close of a situation, I figured that would be, for me, it was a close situation. I don't know what they saw in the unedited version, but for me, both of them could have went, as far as I was concerned. That lip sync didn't do shit for me. Neither one of them did. So, Sugar, I don't know, boo. If you in the bottom again, I don't know. You better bring something different, or I don't know, boo. But anyway, so that's where it was, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments, please.